welcome to Rideau Knits, a crafty corner of the internet where I share all the things that I've been making lately. My name is Cassie and I am living and working and making just south of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Welcome to my channel and I hope you enjoy my projects. This is episode 7, technically. I recorded 2 of this episode already and it's been terrible. I totally forgot what I was doing. It was really weird, and the last one I recorded, I was like way too close to the camera and it was not good. So I'm re-recording, and it has been 2.5 years since I last recorded a podcast episode. I since had 2 kids and life with them was just kind of crazy. So that's why I stopped recording, but now I'm back. I feel the groove and I am super excited to share all the things that I've been making. So I'm not going to share everything that I've done in the past 2.5 years because it's kind of a lot and I forget most of it. But I am going to share my 2 most recent finished objects. And the first one is this beautiful cardigan. This is the Somme cardigan pattern by Cookie the Knitter on Instagram, and it is knit with 2 strands of lace weight mohair held together. And what I did, it has these beautiful balloon sleeves and let's see, this gorgeous lace pattern. Might be able to see it better this way. Oh, there we go. All over the body and the sleeves. And I used 1 strand of Rowan Kidsilk Haze in whatever the white color is, and 1 strand of Sandnes Garn Tynn silk mohair in a white color. I got rid of the ball bands for these. And so I don't actually remember what the color numbers or the color names were. I attached these super cute buttons. Let's see if that'll focus. And the buttons I got from a shop in Toronto called Good Grief Yarn and Provisions. She hand dyes yarn. She sells commercial yarns and some indie dyers, and she has a stash of buttons for sale as well. And they're super cute, super easy to attach. And yeah, I am loving this pattern. It should be released soon or already by the time this video comes out. I did test knit this pattern and I loved it. It was super easy to follow, and the finished product is super cute. I would have done 1 fewer lace repeat in the sleeves. The sleeves are pretty long for my preference, and I probably would have also done 1 less repeat in the body to make it just slightly more cropped, maybe 2, because I would have liked it for it to hit higher, closer to my waist instead of mid-hip. So that's my first finished object. Oh, and I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing my gnome friend. This is a, what is this called? Love Note by Tin Can Knits. And I knit it using Explorer Knits and Fibers, what's the base called? Rockies DK in the To the Sea colorway. I don't remember what size I knit. I don't remember what needles I used. I knit it a while ago and it is super cozy. And I love to just throw it on over top of a tank top, and it makes things super easy to just grab and go. My husband likes to keep our house very warm, and I already run quite warm. So usually at home I am wearing a tank top and shorts, or like yoga pants. And so this is easy to just throw on over top if I am leaving the house, or if it gets slightly cool, if I get slightly cool for whatever reason. The next, I feel like I'm talking really fast because I am so out of practice. All right, the next finished object is a pair of Christmas socks that I knit for my mom. I am planning to knit Christmas socks for all of the people in my family. So myself and my husband, our 2 young kids, my mom and dad, and my sister and her boyfriend. So that's 6 pairs of adult socks and 2 pairs of like little kid socks. My daughter is 2.5 and my son is 5 months old now. So they should go pretty quick. They're pretty small. So I did finish the first of the 6 pairs. I have not woven the ends in yet. I'll probably weave all the ends in on all of them when I finish them all. It is a 64 stitch sock. I did a 1x1 rib for the cuff, and then I switched to a 3x1 rib for the leg and the top of the foot. I did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, which is my favorite fit on a sock. Not my favorite heel to knit, but I do like the way it fits the best, so I think it's worth it. And just a plain wedge toe. I did knit this on a 2.25 millimeter needle, 64 stitches like I said. And the yarn that I used is, let's see if I have it in my basket. It is this Hobbii Christmas sock wool. Will that focus? There we go. And this is the color 04. I got it as a 3-pack like this for a like 60% off or something like that in January of this year. Right after Christmas, the Christmas yarns went like super on sale, so I picked up 2 packs of this. I think it was like $10 or $11 for 300 gram skeins. And it is a 75-25 blend, 420 meters for 100 grams. And yeah, so I got the 3 different colors. This is the one, this what the ball looks like for this pair. So I'm gonna knit my mom and dad with the same yarn, the same colorway. Then my sister and her boyfriend are gonna be in the same colorway, and my husband and I are gonna be in the same colorway. Then the kids are just gonna be a mix of whatever's left over. So that's my second recently finished object. And that can bring us straight into my works in progress, which are more of the Christmas socks. So I've already started on my sister's pair. This is the next one. This is color 05 in the same wool. And again, a 64 stitch sock. I did a 2x2 rib for the cuff, and then just a stockinette leg and foot. And again, a heel flap and gusset for the heel. And I will be doing a wedge toe again when I get to that point. And for the heel, I decided to do a contrast heel because I liked the way the stripes were repeating and I didn't want to interrupt that. Where with this pair, I'm really annoyed actually. With this pair, I got to the heel flap and there was a knot in the yarn. And it totally messed up the stripe sequence in these socks. So I was very annoyed. I had to figure out where it was, and I ended up winding off a whole bunch on the second sock so that they would match. But the stripe sequence on this is not as uniform as on this one, so I didn't want to interrupt the stripes. That was a long tangent. So instead I put in a contrasting heel flap. I did the heel flap and the heel turn in this, where'd it go? This dark gray yarn. This is Sandnes Garn Sisu. Which is an 80-20 wool nylon blend. And yeah, it was just something that I had in my stash. This is what I have in my stash from knitting a sweater in it. So it is not a ton, but it's enough to do contrast heels on these various socks. So I've got this one going. And then also at the same time, I started my husband's pair. And this is what the ball looks like for that one. That's color 06. And what I did was a 2x2 ribbed cuff and then switched it to a 1x1 rib for the leg and the foot. My husband is not a huge fan of wool socks, so he'll wear them for Christmas Day, which is what I wanted, and then they will become my socks. But in order for them to fit him, I cast on 72 stitches. 72 stitches, I believe. And because they're in a rib, they'll fit both of us fairly well. So it'll just end up, might be a little bit long for my foot after, but that's okay. So again, I'm going to put in a contrast heel flap because I like the stripe sequence. And I'll probably do that after it gets back to the dark red, so it's a full repeat of the stripes before I do the heel. Again, 2.25mm needle, and yeah, I'm really excited to get these done. I am in a major sock knitting. My sock mojo is like through the roof right now. All I want to do is knit on these socks. All I want to do is get to the next stripe, and yeah, I'm very excited about that. I have lots of plans for Christmas, or hypothetical plans for Christmas knitting, because I really love gift knitting. My family, my parents and my sister are very knitworthy, and I love gifting knits to them. I love making things for other people. And yeah, if they wear it, their knitwear all the time. My mom loves everything. She gets garments, she gets hats, cowls, socks, anything she wants, she gets. My sister is the same, anything she wants, she gets and she'll wear. I've given some, like handed down some knitwear to her that I didn't wear or didn't quite fit me anymore, and she wears it all the time. And my dad is not a fan of sweaters. He doesn't like wool sweaters because, like me, he gets pretty warm, and I've offered to knit like jacket sweaters for him, but he says no because he doesn't want to ruin them doing work outside. So he gets hand knit socks all day, every day. He wears hand knit socks every single day until he runs out and needs to wash them. But like when I go to their place or see them at the cottage, my dad is always wearing hand knit socks, which is so nice. I just love it so much. All right, take a breath because I'm speed talking through this whole thing. Next, I only have 2 more works in progress, and one is knit and one is crochet. So my next knitting whip is a project for my daughter. She has requested a pink sweater because she sees me knit all the time. She knew I was knitting a sweater. Oh, that's not true. I have 3 more works in progress. She saw me knitting a sweater for myself, And so she requested a sweater for herself, and she wanted a pink sweater. So I had this yarn. It is a cone of cotton yarn from Hobbii. I believe it's one of the 8/4 cottons. I don't know if it's the Cotton Kings or just the rainbow cotton. I can't remember which one it is, but I love using their cotton yarn for dishcloths and kids sweaters because it's easy to just chuck in the wash and I don't have to worry about it going in the dryer, which has happened to several sweaters. And yeah, so the pattern I'm using, this is it. I've split for the sleeves. I'm knitting the body. I did a folded over neckline. This is the Flax Light pattern by Tin Can Knits. I use it all the time to knit sweaters for kids. And this time I went up 0.25 millimeters on both the ribbing needle and the body needle. So I think it calls for a 2.75 and a 3.75, but I am using a 3 millimeter for the cuffs and a 4 millimeter for the body. Just because that's what I had available on hand, and it'll give my daughter a little bit more ease, and then she can wear it for even longer. So yeah, instead of doing just a regular ribbed neckline, I just did a 2x2 rib. I think it calls for a 1x1 in the pattern. I did a 2x2, knit it double the length that I wanted, folded it over, and then picked up from my cast on edge. I don't do a provisional cast on, and I don't like sewing down the edge because I feel like it's not as stretchy if you do that. And yeah, I'm gonna hopefully finish this pretty soon. My daughter sees me knitting on it when she's eating her breakfast and keeps asking me if she can try it on and if she can wear it when it gets to be hers. So between sock knitting, I kind of alternate. I do 15 minutes of sock knitting and 15 minutes of this, and then 15 minutes of sock knitting and 15 minutes of this. It also just gives my hands a break between teeny tiny needles and bigger needles. So that's one more work in progress. I have another knit one, which is on pause because I need the 4 millimeter needles from the Flax Light in order to finish the sleeves on this. So this was very heavily influenced by Amanda of Birch and Lily. She was a test knitter for this pattern, and so I saw her test knit on her podcast for a long time, and I knew it was exactly the kind of pattern that I was looking for, and it is the Maybury cardigan by Amy Lowden. Lowden, and it's going to be hard to see because it's black, but it is, let's see if I can, oh, there we go. It is a half fisherman's rib, or brioche, what's the difference? It's a half fisherman's rib cardigan. I believe it's half fisherman's rib with a double knit button band. So I split for the sleeves. I have finished the body, and I am just waiting for my 4 millimeter needles to be available so I can continue to knit on the sleeves. I am very, very excited to have this as a finished object. I have a similar cardigan, a ready-to-wear that I bought from, I don't even know where. That's similar. It's the same kind of half fisherman's rib brioche, and it's in like a beige tan color, and I love it, and I wear it all the time, and I'm very excited to have a black one because it's gonna fill in that gap. I tend to wear black more than lighter colors, and so that'll fit seamlessly into my wardrobe. I'm using the called for needles for this, whatever it is in the pattern, I can't remember off the top of my head, and this is the yarn that I am using. It is Lana Grossa Arioso. It is an extra fine merino wool with alpaca. Focus not on my face. There we go. That must be my husband coming home. And it is 48% virgin wool, 30% alpaca, and 22% polyamide. And it is a chained yarn. It is super squishy and soft, and I really, really like it. I'm hoping that this stretches a little bit when I block it because of the alpaca content, because right now it's like a little bit of an awkward length, but I hope it stretches just a bit. And I got this from my local yarn store in Ottawa called Wool Time during their tent sale. I got it for like $8 a ball or $7 a ball in a big bag. And so that was fantastic. I got, I think, 10 balls, and I'm not going to use them all. And so maybe I'll have enough to maybe knit my daughter a little sweater in this, or maybe my son. But I feel like it's a little too fluffy for my son because he'll get like the alpaca fibers in his mouth. So, love it. It's really nice. I like working with it. All right, and the last work in progress, the actual last work in progress that I have, is a crochet project. I don't often crochet, and what got me back into the fiber arts, I learned to knit when I was like 7 or something. And then I left it alone for a very long time. And then I picked it back up in university. And then I forgot about it. And then I was working at a U-Pick strawberry place, and I picked up crochet, which then led me to get back into knitting. Or I learned, yeah, I crocheted like 4 blankets that summer. But what I'm doing is a blanket for my daughter for her big girl bed. So it is right now this wide, not very long, and it is just half double crochet, back and forth and back and forth, something very mindless and easy to work on when I need to focus on something else, like when I'm watching TV or, you know, when my hands just get tired of knitting. And this is the yarn. This is how much I have left of the first ball. It's very droopy and inappropriate looking. And it is a Lion Brand Respun Thick and Quick. And it is 100% recycled polyester. And this is the colorway Wisteria. I do have balls of this. I think I have 5 balls of this because that's what they had at Walmart. That's where I got it. And I have another colorway of this that I'm also knitting a blanket in, but I kind of haven't done that in a very long time. And I am using, again from Walmart, just a very inexpensive metal hook. It is an 8mm hook, or a USL. And yeah, I'm just plugging away at this whenever it sits on the couch downstairs. So if I'm too lazy to go and get another project from upstairs to bring it down when I'm watching TV in the evenings, then I'll work on this. Or if I'm just, my hands and wrists are sore, then I'll work on this. Just to get a different change of movement. So that is all of the things I'm working on. Future knitting. I'm going to continue knitting all these Christmas socks. And hope I don't run out of steam and not get them done by Christmas, because I'm hoping that we can all wear them on Christmas Day together when we open gifts and stuff. And I'm also planning on doing some more Christmas knits, gift knits for people in my family. My mom has requested a vest or a slipover. I don't know, what is the difference between a vest and a slipover? They're the same thing. Why do we call it not a vest? I don't know. Someone tell me, please. So I have the yarn and I have the pattern. I'm gonna knit a Haley slip over for her in this navy yarn that I got from my local fiber festival, which I'll show probably in the next episode because I'll probably cast it on soon. And she also requested a super snuggly cowl. My mom is always cold, and in the winter she needs something to cover her neck. So she doesn't get cold. She wants it to be like a snug cowl that's super thick and dense so the wind doesn't go through, and she can be all toasty and warm. If anyone has any pattern suggestions for a super snuggly, tight-fitting cowl that I can knit for her, please let me know down below. And then I'm gonna be knitting, try and knit, we'll see, try is the key here. Possibly socks for my dad, because I know he'll wear them and love them. And then, or a hat. We'll see. And then maybe a hat for my sister as well. I'm thinking the Musselburgh for that because I can use whatever yarn I have hanging around, and it's pretty easy to just repeatedly knit a stockinette tube. So any suggestions for cowls, let me know down below. And that's all I have to share. Life update, like I said at the beginning, I have since had 2 kids. I've tried to record podcasts several times and it has not worked out for me. But now I'm back dealing with a 5-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. And so yeah, maybe I will get to do this regularly. I would like to do it, I think weekly is ambitious, but bi-weekly might be manageable. At the very least, I'd like to do monthly. Today is November 1st. So I'm hoping that maybe I can do in 2 weeks' time. I should have lots of progress. I do spend a lot of time knitting, especially in the evenings. And so hopefully I'll have lots of progress on all of my things. And yeah, that's really all I have. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and happy knitting!